Hey guys, Ark here, bringing to you another video of the Learning Night Elf series for Night Elf versus Human. So I had a request on Night Elf versus One Base. I also had a request on Night Elf versus Fast Expansion from Human, but we're going to break these in two different videos. So the first is going to be One Base Human. I am specifically going to be covering like Demon Hunter versus a One Base Human, but I want you to keep in mind that the build order that I'm going to kind of cover around and the general play style will be very much the same regardless of what your first hero is. You may choose to play it slightly different. Like for instance, if you're going to go Warden first, you might choose to build a proxy AOW to help creep with, or if you're going to go Keeper versus One Base, you could play very similar as well. Just keep that in mind that the build order itself is going to be kind of set in stone, and you can kind of adjust the finer things like your heroes, your movements around the map and whatnot to adjust based off of what your opponent's doing. But try and always keep the build order in mind to be the same, because what you're trying to do is rush bears. So versus One Base Human, more than likely what this means is that the human is going to go Rifle Casters with an Archmage, possibly a Naga, possibly a Blood Mage, maybe even a Mountain King. So I think in some of the games, or in the two games we cover here, one of them is going to be a Mountain King, but I don't think it really changes a whole lot. Obviously, I think Naga is better versus a Demon Hunter than a Mountain King, but just things to keep in mind. What I find really a common mistake that I find that a lot of Night Elves make is, one, the build order. In terms of their rushing to bears, as well as just kind of their pre-T2 movements around the map. So the things I'm going to really focus on, and it's things I've focused on in previous videos, is positioning of your army. One of the games you're going to see is me being very careless with where my Demon Hunter's at and my archers, and I find myself in a very kind of bad predicament, but I was able to kind of work myself out of it as well. But it just kind of goes to show how hard the game can be and what you can do to kind of buy yourself more time to get into that bear army. So start with the build that we're going to be doing. So it's going to start with the 21 food archer tech, which is what we cover in the Learning Night Elf Chapter 1, Episode 1. So if you want to check that video out, I'll try to get a link in the video. I don't really know how to do that, but I'm trying to figure it out. Either way, you can go through the Learning Night Elf Chapter 1, Episode 1. Check out that build order if you don't already know it. The next step after you've tech to Tier 2 is you're going to be building archers essentially non-stop until you get a total of 5 archers. Now, one of the worst things you can do is lose archers early. One thing you want to keep in mind, though, is that those archers aren't something you're going to want to continuously replace. Once you've built your 5, that's kind of what you want to stick with until you get into your endgame army. You don't want to keep investing resources into a low-tech unit that is going to be quickly outstriped. I don't know the phrase, but the archers are going to fall off very fast. So don't really feel like you have to replace those, but just really prioritize defensive microing and keeping those archers alive, because that's going to be one of the most important aspects of your early game. The next thing is you're going to be building 1 Moonwell during your tech, so you're going to be out of 40 food. So you have 2 Moonwells before you tech Tier 2, then you build another one as soon as you can while keeping your archer production consistent. After that, you're going to build your Hunter's Hall. You don't really want it any later than halfway into your tech to Tier 2, but as soon as you can, with keeping in mind your cost of buying boots and your archers and your other Moonwell, though, you want to prioritize the Hunter's Hall last. But at the latest, get it in before halfway into Tier 2, and you want to upgrade Ultra Vision right away. I didn't include that in the text here, but Ultra Vision gives you a lot of vision, and the sooner you can get that Hunter's Hall down means that the sooner you're going to get Ultra Vision. It doesn't really impact any timings for you as long as you prioritize it after all of your other units and buildings on your way to Tier 2. A common thing that I didn't actually cover in here is that once you built your 5 archers, I really like to uproot that AOW and move it into a more defensive position. You don't have to do anything with that AOW until Tier 2 comes. So once you get those 5 archers, uproot it, bring it into a safer position that can help defend your base a little bit more. And then after all those buildings and upgrades are complete, you hit Tier 2. What you want to do is immediately start building 3 Wisps. Now this may seem a little bit counterintuitive because you're trying to rush bears, but the 3 wisps there are to one, kind of help solidify yourself from any harassment on your wisps, but what it also does is gives you a safety net that if you don't have as successful of a harass, you may need to build APs to help defend your base and buy you more time. Those extra wisps right at tier 2 will give you more lumber income that will allow you to build those while not drastically impacting your Druid of the Clawed Master training. And it also kind of bridges that gap that you have where, because you're not teching right away, you don't really have the resources to build your lores because you're building these wisps. So it kind of just even works its way out that you can fit those 3 wisps in. So as you start queuing those 3 wisps, you're going to get your second hero, and then as soon as those 3 wisps are done and you can tech with resources, you just want to tech right away. You don't want to build your lores until after you hit your tier 3 tech. Once you've started teching to tier 3, that's when you can go ahead and place your 2 lores, your 4th Moonwell, your shop, all during your tier 3 tech, so that once your tier 3 and his rifle push may be coming right at your doorstep, that's when you can get all your upgrades, get all your items. Everything starts coming together at that point. So that's kind of the high level build order, and we're going to jump into kind of a quick game. I'm just going to kind of breeze right through these because a lot of the ideas behind scouting and whatnot I cover in other videos. So that's why I'm just going to kind of skim through these and showcase how I'm implementing this build order. So let's go ahead and skip over to this game. This is from a little while ago. You don't find one base human, or at least I don't find I play against one base human too often, especially with Demon Hunter, so it kind of just worked out. I had 2 games right in a row for this. So I'm going to pause right here. So essentially I'm in a position where I have no clue where he's at. I did some detonate on his water elemental here to get level 2, and after that I lost all scouting information. So that's kind of the downside of doing that detonate on this map. But I really lost control of this game. I have no clue where he's at, and I find myself in a position where he's in my base, I'm nowhere near him, and I could very well take some game-ending damage at this point. So whenever you find yourself in those situations, it's important to just really understand that what you need to do is buy time and try and save as many units as you can. Wisps have the benefit of being able to harvest lumber from anywhere on the map, so I'm basically just going to start splitting these wisps as best I can and just sending them all over the map. So you see I send these 3 over here. He's kind of going after here, but I'm just starting moving them all away from my base. I'm just trying to buy as much time so that I don't want to lose any wisps as much as I can. I don't want to lose any wisps. And I just want to buy time to get to tier 2 because that's all he's trying to do is wasting my time and try and get wisps. So if I can keep my wisps alive and get myself to tier 2, then I'm sitting in a pretty decent position, even with all things considered. So I've already kind of failed my early game objectives at this point, but what you can see is I'm halfway to tier 2, almost no 3rd Moonwell out. He did cancel that one that I was building, but I'm keeping up archer production. I've got 4, and this is my 5th one coming out. So I've got my 5 archers once this AOW finishes. I'm going to look to start building another Moonwell and a Hunter's Hall. So I probably have boots soon. I'll get that soon, and I'm just trying to get him away from my base as much as I can and just dealing with this harass. There goes the Hunter's Hall, so halfway to tier 2. That's about as late as you want to build it. And I'm starting to fend off this, and I'm going to go ahead and build 3rd Moonwell, but unfortunately it still gets canceled. But you kind of see that I'm trying to hold true to this build order. I'm trying to hold true to what I know I need at tier 2. So 27 out of 30, not ideal, but I'm just going to creep, try and harass, be as annoying as I can to him. And again, I don't want to specifically talk about what to do in the game because I've done those in previous videos. The important thing is I'm just showcasing how I'm implementing this build order and why I feel that this is the best way to play against one base human. So I'm tier 2, I'm building 3 wisps, getting Ultra Vision, and I have my AOW uprooted and trying to get in position. Now, again, I'm finding myself into a bad position where my hero is nowhere near. I already lost an archer, which is basically what you don't want to do. So I'm going to be, this is going to be a 2nd archer loss. So I'm going to be down to 3 archers, and I'm still not even tech to tier 2. He is tier 2, placing his buildings and whatnot, going rifle casters. And here, so I'm basically in crisis mode. How do I defend this? And again, 3 wisps. I'm trying to push them out, so basically I'm just trying to not lose units as best I can. And then I tech. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, my harass is terrible because I haven't really harassed. He's harassed me. I've lost a lot. So in my mindset, I'm thinking, okay, I need to build at least 1 AP. Now, I could possibly get away with just 1 AP if I potentially defend this very well and kill a lot of stuff. But we'll see how this fight goes. So he's continuing to do more damage. Hasn't killed anything yet. I'm going to lose maybe an archer. I forced a TP. I think I lost an archer because I don't know where it's at. So I did lose an archer, so I've lost 3 archers. He hasn't really done anything to me. Or I'm sorry, I haven't really done anything to him. Again, 2 lures coming after I tech to tier 3. And we'll see my shop come down eventually, as well as the next Moonwell. But again, I haven't done anything to him, so in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I need an AP to defend against this because something is going to need to buy me time. So at this point, I probably should have gone ahead and placed the AP. So I would say that, okay, there we go. I do place it. So right there, I realize I'm kind of screwed. I need to buy time. There goes the AP. I'm going to start upgrading for bears right away. Soon, well, not right away. There we go. And he's basically barreling down me, and that's the point where I know I need a second AP because my harass has been terrible, haven't gotten anything done, and I need to buy a lot of time. AOW is in a nice position to help me buy time, so that's going to be a positive for me. And just watch how I engage this. It's all about stalling. So I'm not looking to take any actual engagement. I just want to buy time. And that's kind of the important aspect. So as you can see, I'm getting master form basically about as soon as I possibly, or basically right on time, because he's in front of my base. He can't really push in just yet because of my APs. And so it's giving me time to start pumping out these bears. And I'm going to be able to build up an army to try and defend this. Now, you still have to play well. You still have to micro it. You still have to control it well enough to defend. But this is the situation that, while it's not ideal, I've gotten to tier 3. I've gotten to the tech that I need to be able to defend this. My shop was a little bit late. But that's the keys, are that build order is implementing that build order is what allows me to get into this situation where I can possibly still win this game. So with that said, let's jump into the next game. Kind of running a little bit over what I was expecting. So let me just get this. I think this next one is going to be a little bit faster once I can find it. Sorry, guys. Oh boy, where did they go? Oh, okay, here we are. Okay, sorry about that. So again, the same concept, same build order. That's what we're going to be focusing on. And let's jump into this game. Go ahead. So I'm just going to skim right through this. This is the 21 food archer tech. Second Moonwell, I'm going to be teching right at 21. So I built my next archer, so that's where the 23 comes from. And then there we go. There's the tech. And at this point, I've found where he's at, and I'm going to stick on him like glue. I don't want him getting anywhere near my base without me being there, being able to defend it. So as you can see, like, this is just going to continue to tier 2. I'm just going to stick on him as best I can. I do lose track of him at some point. But the important thing is I'm trying to stick towards my build order. Now you can see my Hunter's Hall is a little bit late. Not ideal, but I still get it down in time. Because of the fact that I'm building 3 wisps and teching before lures, it doesn't really have to come right away. It's just that what it means is that you're not going to have Ultra Vision as early. So the sooner you can get it while getting your other buildings in archers as the priority, the better, because you can get Ultra Vision faster. That's the only thing that you miss out on if you get the Hunter's Hall down a little bit late. So that's what happens in this game. And I'm in a situation where I have no idea where he's at. He ends up in my base. So again, not an ideal situation, but you're gonna have to be able to defend against this. And basically, I know I need to move my wisp right away. I'm going to lose a couple, but that's okay. As long as I can trade something for him, it's not the end of the world. Because I'm going to be rebuilding 3 wisps anyway, so trading something for him is decent because it means that my harass might be a little bit more effective. So 3 wisps, get my second hero, and we're going to see me teching. And then you do see me scout that, but I have to TP back, but look at that, right away. Even though he's right in front of me, I'm still going to tech. I built my 3 wisps. I need to get my tech to tier 3 going so I can get my bears out in time. And then there we go, 2 lures. So 1 lure goes down. And another lure. Come on, there we go. And then you're going to see me build another Moonwell, and then the shop as well. So, again, I'm putting a lot of pressure on him, and that's going to be something pretty common in this match. He does go Mountain King, so it's not as good for him as, say, Naga. You know what? One thing I forgot to touch on, actually, is another thing right at tier 2 is you want to get the range upgrade for archers. Now, if you lost all your archers, maybe don't get the range upgrade. But if you still have your 5 archers, I mean, that's going to be a huge benefit because think about the damage you can be putting out from a large distance if he's trying to push into your base. So that's part of the build as well. So 5 archers with range, 3 wisps at tier 2. Build your lures after teching to tier 3. And there we go. There goes the Moonwell. There goes the shop. And we're just watching my base again. So we'll see. I queue up a bear.
Building is complete.
Bear. And then Druid to depth form.
Is being desecrated.
Druid to depth. Druid to depth. A little bit late here, actually. There we go. So that, ideally, you get your Druid and then a depth form first right away. Then your Moonwell finishes and you can get 2 more bears. And that gives you 3 bears with Master Form once you can upgrade Master Form right at tier 3. And his push is coming. So I do get a nice item here. So it's going to make this defense really easy. If I didn't have that item, he's going to be coming here soon. And yeah, I'm just going to back off. I'm not sure where his army is. I thought it was all with him. Ends up not being with him. But here come the militia, and I'm in a position where I'm going to have 2 bears, I guess, in this case. So just 2 bears with master upgrade. And I basically have everything I need to defend against this. So we'll actually show how it goes through. So my harass, his harass wasn't as effective. Mine was decent. I mean, we traded. So that's why I don't have any APs here. So if you have a good harass and you don't trade anything, you're basically I would say that you're good at, or I guess the better your early game goes, the less you need an AP. So if you have a really good early game, no AP. If you let's say you do lose a little bit, but you trade, that'd be 1 AP. If you do lose quite a bit and you don't really trade, that's basically 2 APs. That's the amount of time essentially that you're trying to buy. Get caught a little bit out of position, but this is very hard for him to push in. I've got an AOW, I got Master Form here, and I got an Overvenom. Now he does have a little bit higher heroes, but once I get that level 3 on the Demon Hunter, it's kind of a game changer here. It's just way more effective than his army. And I get my 3-2, and his army's just going to start crumbling here. More bears are going to start rallying in. And this is really kind of what happens if you have a good early game. And it's also kind of a common reason that a lot of humans no longer play one base human versus elf. It's in my opinion, it's also just not the best strategy for human, but it can be very difficult for elf to defend if the elf doesn't really truly understand like their build order, why they're doing that build order, and they don't really have a great early game. So the most important thing is the build order, and I think as you start applying that, you'll find that you can play against one base human a lot more effectively. So that's going to be it for the video. It's quite a bit longer than I expected. If you have any questions, feel free to post them down below. Thank you.